If you've ever stepped off a flight thinking, why did this feel harder and more expensive than it needed to be? You're not imagining it. Airlines and airports run on a bunch of little rules, tricks, and fine print that most people never hear explained. Until it's too late and you're paying extra, losing time, or stuck with the worst seat on the plane. In this video, we're breaking down 20 airline secrets they seriously hope you never find out. How seat selection really works. The quiet reasons behind boarding rules. The easiest ways to dodge surprise baggage fees. What actually speeds up airport security, and the simple packing moves that keep travel days smooth. Some of these are so easy, you'll wonder why nobody told you sooner, and a few can save you real money on your very next trip. Let's get into it. Number 1, pre-flight routines aren't about comfort. The crew isn't asking for window shades up, tray tables stowed, seat backs upright, and bags fully tucked away, because they love rules. It's because those are the exact moments when a cabin needs to be clean and predictable. Open shades help the crew and emergency teams see outside and inside faster if something looks wrong. Stowed tray tables and upright seat backs keep the aisle and rows clear so people can move without tripping or getting stuck. Bags under the seat can't stick out where feet need to land during a quick exit, and that matters more than most people realize. Even the headphones off, attention up vibe is about making sure you hear instructions the first time, not after everyone is already stressed. Once you start seeing those steps as a checklist for speed and visibility, a lot of other airline habits suddenly make more sense. Number 2, cabin lights tell a safety story. Dimming the lights during takeoff and landing isn't just for mood. It's a practical move that helps your eyes adjust in case the cabin needs to evacuate in low light. At night, it's obvious, but it's useful even in daytime because you might exit into smoke, rain, or a shadowy area, and your vision needs a head start. It also makes it easier to spot unusual light or smoke inside the cabin. And the shades up request pairs with this. Crew members can quickly scan outside for anything that shouldn't be there, and responders on the ground can see what's happening inside. Airlines rarely explain this because it sounds intense, but it's really just planning for the unlikely. If you want a simple comfort win that still respects the rules, keep your essentials where you can reach them without pulling a full bag into the aisle. Number 3, the seatbelt sign isn't the full picture. People often treat the seatbelt sign like a strict on/off switch for safety, but the real danger is the kind you can't see coming. Clear air turbulence can show up with little warning, even when the sky looks calm, and that's when people get tossed because they unbuckled just for a minute. The best habit is simple. Stay loosely buckled whenever you're seated, and just tighten it when you actually need it. Another detail most passengers miss is how the crew moves around during turbulence. Planes are built with small grips and handholds near key spots so crew can stabilize themselves while working. That's why you'll see them touch overhead areas and seat backs in a careful way. It's not a nervous habit, it's technique. If you copy that approach, one hand free, one hand steady, you move safer too. Number 4, best seat depends on what you're optimizing. Airlines love to sell seats as if there's one perfect choice, but it's really a trade-off between stability, speed, and personal space. Sitting over the wings often feels steadier because you're close to the plane's center of lift, so bumps can feel less dramatic than they do farther forward or farther back. Seats closer to the front can mean a quieter ride and a faster exit, but they're also closer to busy areas like galleys on some layouts. The back can feel louder, and you may wait longer to get off, but it can come with perks like easier access to available bins later in boarding, and sometimes more flexible seating if the flight isn't full. Exit rows look like a legroom cheat code, but they come with real responsibilities and restrictions, and not everyone can sit there. The secret is that you're not buying a better seat, you're buying a different set of compromises. Number 5, boarding is a quiet competition for storage. Overhead bin space works like a limited resource market. Early boarders get the easiest wins, late boarders get the leftovers. Airlines don't always say it clearly, but a huge part of boarding stress comes from bags, not people. If you want smoother boarding without playing games, Aim for a setup where your essentials fit under the seat and your overhead bag is truly carry-on sized and easy to lift. Keep anything you'll need in flight: charger, headphones, medication, a light layer, somewhere you can grab fast without unpacking in the aisle. When bins start filling, crew may gate check bags, and that's usually about speed and safety, not punishment. A bag stuck halfway out of a bin becomes a hazard during turbulence. If you pack like you might have to hand your bag over at the gate, you won't feel trapped if it happens. Number 6. Seat assignments can change right up to departure. A seat map is not a promise. Airlines block seats for lots of reasons: crew positioning, weight and balance, passengers with specific needs, families being placed together, or operational issues like a broken seat or a missing armrest. That's why you'll sometimes see empty areas on the map that never become available online, then suddenly open at the gate. Gate agents also have tools you don't, including the ability to reseat groups quickly and adjust for last-minute aircraft swaps. The practical move is to check your seat again after you get a gate number and again after you board, because plane changes happen and your row might not exist anymore in the new layout. If you're hoping for a better seat, being polite and specific helps. Ask what's possible, not what's fair. The secret is that the gate is where many seating decisions actually get finalized. Number 7. Overbooking is normal, and it's built into the math. Airlines oversell flights because a predictable percentage of people don't show up, miss connections, or change plans. When the math works, it keeps ticket prices lower and planes fuller. When the math fails, you get a mess at the gate. What airlines don't highlight is that they prefer volunteers, not forced bumps, because volunteers are faster and cheaper to manage. If a flight is asking for volunteers, listen carefully to what's being offered: money, travel credit, hotel, meals, confirmed seat on a later flight, and sometimes upgrades. The smartest question is the new flight confirmed? And what happens if that one is delayed too? Also, if you're on a tight schedule, don't volunteer just because the offer sounds big. The real win is choosing control over chaos. Number 8. Basic economy is a rule set, not a discount. A lot of passengers think basic economy is just a cheaper ticket with fewer extras, but it's often a completely different contract. The secret is how many restrictions hide behind one low price: limited seat selection, boarding later than other groups, stricter carry-on rules on some airlines, reduced ability to change or cancel, and fewer ways to earn points or status credit. Airlines like it because it separates price shoppers from flexibility shoppers. If you value predictability, basic economy can cost more in the end when you add a bag, pay to choose a seat, or get stuck with a bad connection because you couldn't adjust. If you do buy it, treat it like a no changes, no favors ticket and plan around that reality. It's not a scam, but it's easy to misunderstand if you don't read the fine print. Number 9. Same-day changes and standby aren't just for elites. Many airlines have same-day change options, standby lists, and app-based rebooking that can save you when plans shift. They don't advertise it loudly because it adds complexity and customer service load, but it exists because airlines want seats filled efficiently. The trick is understanding the difference between confirmed change and standby. A confirmed change means you actually have that seat. Standby means you're hoping for a seat after others clear. If you're trying to move to an earlier flight, go for confirmed if it's available and the cost makes sense. If you're trying to protect yourself from a risky connection, moving to an earlier flight can be the simplest insurance you can buy. Another quiet reality: the moment a delay starts, your best rebooking options often appear in the app before a gate agent can help everyone in line. Being quick matters. Number 10. Ticket prices move for reasons that have nothing to do with you. People love the idea that airlines track you and raise prices because you looked twice, but most pricing changes are driven by inventory and demand, not personal browsing history. Airlines sell seats in batches at different prices, often called fare buckets, and when a cheaper bucket sells out, the price jumps to the next one. That can happen fast if a flight suddenly gets attention: holidays, events, school breaks, or a competitor canceling service. The useful habit is to track flights over time. Set price alerts, and be ready to buy when the price fits your budget and schedule. If you refresh a page and the price changes, it can be caching, currency conversion, or the bucket flipping in real time. The secret is that the system is mostly automated and it reacts to the market, not your feelings. Number 11. Loyalty points are a currency with a changing exchange rate. Airlines talk about points like they're straightforward: fly, earn, redeem. But the value is flexible and can shift depending on route, season, and how the airline prices awards. What they don't emphasize is that how many points isn't the real question. The real question is, what value am I getting per point compared to paying cash? Partner redemptions, off-peak routes, and specific sweet spots can stretch value, while last-minute popular routes can burn points fast for a low return. Status also works like a bundle. Priority boarding, free bags, better seat options, and customer service lines can matter more than the actual upgrades. If you're going to play the points game, focus on benefits you'll reliably use, not benefits you'll only maybe get. And always read the rules on expiration and account activity so your points don't quietly disappear. Number 12. Bag fees are designed to feel unpredictable. Airlines know baggage is where many customers stop comparing and start paying, especially under time pressure. Fees can depend on route, ticket type, when you pay, your status, and even the airline's current promotions. The easiest way to avoid surprises is to price your trip like an airline does. Ticket plus bags, plus seat choice, plus any change flexibility you might need. Paying for checked bags online in advance is often cheaper than doing it at the airport, and it saves time at the counter. Weight limits are another quiet trap. Going 1 pound over can trigger a big fee, and airline scales don't negotiate. A small travel scale at home can prevent a lot of drama later. The secret is that airlines don't want baggage to be a simple flat cost, because complexity increases revenue. Number 13. Packing rules are really battery rules. Security and airline rules around batteries are stricter than most people realize because lithium batteries can overheat if damaged or poorly made. That's why many airlines prefer, or require, spare lithium batteries and power banks to be in your carry-on, not checked. Don't toss loose batteries in a bag where metal objects can touch the contacts. Use a case or keep them in original packaging. If you travel with gear like cameras, drones, or lots of chargers, organizing your electronics isn't just neat, it's smoother at security. Keep medication in your personal item, not a checked bag, and include a simple backup plan. 1 change of underwear and a basic shirt in case your checked bag arrives late. For small devices that use AA or AAA batteries, pack extras where you can reach them without digging. The secret is that smart packing is mostly about reducing single points of failure. Number 14. Security lines reward preparation more than speed. In the US, Transportation Security Administration (TSA) screening is built around flow. Bins move faster when people do the same few actions consistently. Before you reach the front, empty your pockets, keep liquids accessible, and put your ID and boarding pass where you won't fumble. If you're asked to remove electronics, do it smoothly and place them flat so scanners get a clean image. Liquids rules are the most common slowdown, and they're also the easiest to manage if you pack them in a clear bag from the start. Some airports use newer scanners that change what needs to come out, so the real tip is to follow the signs and the officer's instructions for that specific checkpoint. Programs that offer expedited screening can help frequent flyers, but even without them, simple organization makes you look low risk and keeps you moving. Number 15. Extra screening isn't always personal. Getting pulled aside for additional screening can feel suspicious, but it's often triggered by harmless patterns. A dense bag full of cables, a big jar-like container, a messy pile of toiletries, or random selection. If you fly from or within the US, you might sometimes see SSSS on a boarding pass, which typically means additional screening at the gate. Airlines don't like to talk about this because it creates anxiety and debates at the counter, but the best approach is calm and practical. Arrive a bit earlier if you know you've been selected before, keep your electronics and liquids organized, and avoid packing items that look confusing on an X-ray, like stacking power banks, chargers, and metal tools into one tight block. If you need medical items or special equipment, keep documentation handy. The secret is that screening is often about what your bag looks like to a machine, not who you are. Number 16. Airports run on door close, not takeoff time. A flight that departs at 8 o'clock doesn't mean you can show up at 7:55. Airlines often close boarding earlier than departure time, and the cutoff can vary by airport, airline, and whether it's domestic or international. They do this because the plane has to finish paperwork, count passengers, move bags, and coordinate with the gate before it can push back. Another quiet detail: your gate can change late, and airports can be deceptively large. What looks like a short walk can include long corridors, train rides, or crowded choke points. If you have a connection, don't assume the airport is designed for convenience. Assume it's designed for capacity. The smart move is to know your airport layout, keep notifications on, and walk with purpose as soon as you land. The secret is that schedules are built with buffers you don't see, and missing them is easier than people think. Number 17. Checked bags are handled for speed, not gentleness. Baggage systems are built to move thousands of bags quickly through belts, chutes, and carts. That means your suitcase will be dropped, tilted, squeezed, and sometimes exposed to weather on the tarmac. Airlines don't advertise this because nobody wants to imagine it, but packing like your bag will be treated roughly is realistic. Put fragile items in your carry-on whenever possible. Inside, checked luggage. Use soft items as padding, and keep anything breakable away from the edges. Add a luggage tag on the outside, but also put a card with your name and contact info inside the bag, because external tags can rip off. Tracking devices can help you see where a bag is, but treat them as information, not magic. Airlines still use their own scanning system to route bags. The secret is that a strong suitcase and smart packing do more than any fragile sticker ever will. Number 18. Planes are cleaned fast, so protect your own space. Turnaround times are tight. After one flight lands, crews have a limited window to unload, load, restock, and get everyone back on board. Deep cleaning happens, but not after every single flight, and clean can mean different things depending on the route and schedule. The practical tip is to treat your seat area like a shared public space. Wipe the tray table, armrests, seatbelt buckle, and screen if there is one, because those are high-touch surfaces. Avoid using the seatback pocket as storage for snacks or phones. It collects crumbs and forgotten items. Use the overhead air vent to create a gentle airflow in your space if you like, especially when boarding is crowded. None of this is about panic. It's about simple hygiene in a high-turnover environment. The secret is that personal comfort on a plane often comes from small habits you control, not the airline's routine. Number 19. Food and water work differently at altitude. Cabin air is dry, pressure is lower than on the ground, and that changes how you feel and how things taste. People often blame airline food for being bland, but taste buds can be less sensitive in flight, so meals may be saltier than you choose at home. If you're trying to feel better while flying, hydration is the quiet cheat code. Drink water regularly, and don't wait until you feel thirsty. Also, be selective about where you get your water. Sealed bottled water is the simplest option, and you can ask the crew for it during service. If you bring your own snacks, choose things that travel well and won't melt, crumble everywhere, or smell strong in a small cabin. Another simple comfort move is to eat lighter before and during the flight, because some people feel more bloated in the air. The secret is that a bad flight can be caused by dry air and timing as much as by the seat or the service. Number 20. The crew has a whole system you barely see. Those little chimes and dings aren't random, but they're not universal either. Different airlines and aircraft use different patterns, and crews use them as a quiet way to coordinate without announcing everything out loud. Airlines don't explain these systems because passengers would overanalyze every sound, but knowing they exist helps you stay calm when you hear a few quick tones. Another behind-the-scenes reality is that crew workflows are tightly regulated. Rest periods, duty limits, safety checks, and communication with the cockpit all follow specific procedures. The best way to get help quickly is to be clear and respectful. Say what you need and why, without turning it into a debate in the aisle. If something is truly wrong, like a broken seatbelt, a leaking ceiling panel, or a missing safety item, tell them right away. The secret is that the cabin runs smoothly because it's a professional operation. And when you work with that system instead of fighting it, your whole travel day gets easier.